Paddington to Notting Hill to Downton, our next guest is well and truly a national treasure. He's back treading the boards in Shadowlands, which kicks off in London in February. So we always like the view when we pull up a pew with Hugh Bonneville.
Nice one! And hey,
who
team,
writes this?
do you know what he's got us for Christmas?
What?
He's brought his Christmas cold in, haven't you?
Yes, I am the spirit of Christmas cold.
I went to give you a big hug. You went, no, don't. You'll get my cold. You'll get my cold. You'll get my Christmas cold. How long you had it for, my friend?
Only a couple of days. But I'm recording. I've been doing all the short stories of Sherlock Holmes as a sort of podcast.
Right.
And I went in yesterday to record one, and I said, "Look, I don't sound like I normally do." And they said, and the producer said, "Well, don't worry, because it's all narrated by Dr. Watson." He said, "Well, sometimes Dr. Watson has a cold, so it's all right."
Yeah.
So I'm going in to do some more today, but I think they may send me home, put me off games.
Yeah, and they can sort of tweak it, can't they, a little bit? And you don't sound as coldy to us as you do in your own head.
No, and that's the thing about hearing yourself back. I mean, in my head, normally, without the cold, I think, what a lovely, deep, interesting voice I have. Then I hear myself on, played back on the radio, and it's like that. In my head.
Do you think how I feel? But I mean, you could do some sort of guerrilla voiceovers over the next few days for really deep voices.
I know. I could do some links for you. Listen, it's Christmas with Chris Evans. Oh, did they record that?
Yeah.
I want a fee.
Do us a favour. And the National Lottery. Go on.
What is it? And the National Lottery.
Yes, that's so good. We're going to play that every day now. Yeah, with bells on. It's Christmas Tuesday. It's a month to Christmas today.
I know. You've been getting so overexcited about
every
it.
Tuesday we go full on Christmas. Yeah, and then people who only listen on a Tuesday go, God, he does Christmas every. No, we don't. We only do it on a Tuesday.
But do you get a lot of bar humbug messages?
No,
saying it's too early. You've gone too soon.
No, because the people who we sieved out the bar humbug in the first couple of years of the show. There's an audience churn in radio. They call it the churn.
Right.
And you just have to carry on doing what you're doing and just don't listen to them, and off they go to other places.
to other places.
Yeah, seriously. So you've had a great year. You're flying high. I know you're the most grateful person on the planet. And you bumped into Ben Miller. You've fired up a friendship with Ben Miller. How come? How did that happen?
Oh well, we were working together on a film project a couple of years ago, and we've stayed in touch. But my children's book that's just come out that you were very gracious about, Rory Sparks and the Elephant in the Room.
Because it's brilliant.
I've been doing some talks in schools and that sort of thing, and I was in one school library, and there was one of Ben Miller's books on the shelf, and near to it was a huge, great big sort of standy-uppy thing that you can put your head in and have a photograph taken of my book. All the fun. Yeah, so I filmed his poxy little book and said, look how popular my book is, and how big my book is, and it led us into a text conversation for about half an hour or so. And we both agreed that the greatest pleasure of the launching of a book once you've written it for children is actually talking to the children. And it, as I was saying to you just now, it sort of restores your faith in humanity. Yeah. Talking to children aged between 6 and 12 who've yet to be scarred by life in the way that you and I have been, Chris, is really gorgeous. And they're very immediate critics, but also just their optimism and the variety of questions and their interest in life. And there's one thing I came up with, which was to ask them to help me with the second book. There's a tunnel in it, and I said, I'm not sure where the tunnel comes out. Anyone here got an idea of where the tunnel emerges? Because they're always interesting tunnels and mysterious and dangerous, and the variety of answers. One was sort of on planet Zog, and one was in our classroom, and one was Atlantis, and then one little lad went into great detail about his aunt Jemima's kitchen, and where it was which part of the kitchen the tunnel would come up in. It's lovely when imagination gets fired, and you were so brilliant at creating the 500 words thing, and children's imagination and sparking that in any way, shape or form is just so glorious to watch.
A round of applause. That's a lovely little speech there. Yeah, that's great, man. Well done. Cold or no cold, Night Nurse is doing the job, my friend. It's so fun. So Hugh is coming specifically to get bums on seats for Shadowlands. So Shadowlands begins at the Aldwych Theatre, London, on Thursday, the 5th of Feb, and runs until the 9th of May. Tickets available now via shadowlandsplay.com. Now, you've done this before. You did it really well. is it possible you could still mess it up second time around?
Of course. It's a glorious play by William Nicholson, and it's about C.S. Lewis, who created the Narnia Chronicles, Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and that's all those wonderful stories. And it's about late flowering love. He was an academic living in Oxford, sort of pottering along with his, living with his brother in a sort of bachelor lifestyle, and into his life erupted this rather sort of energetic, buzzing fan, an American poet, and they got married eventually, simply so that she could get her passport or her visa. And then, of course, he fell properly in love.
Oh.
But then she got ill and she passed away. And so the big question of the story, as he asks the audience at the beginning in a lecture, is if God is love, why does he allow suffering? So it's an exploration of love and pain, and the sort of yin and yang of pain, suffering and love that we all experience.
Apparently that is one of the most, if not the most asked question to holy people who are, happy to have an open Q&A and ask me anything. That is the most asked question.
Yeah. And I mean, what is the upshot? We are all here for our, short period of time, and to try and make the most of love, and we will all experience pain. And how to balance those and how to endure those is part of the philosophy of life, I suppose.
It is.
But I'm making it sound a bit doom and gloom. It's not. It's very funny.
My question was, can you mess it up? Don't think I've forgotten. No, I'm only joking.
Of course I can. But I've got a wonderful co-star, Maggie Siff, who's from... audiences will recognise her from Mad Men and from Billions, and she's coming over to join us, and we start rehearsals in January.
And Americans love it, don't they? They love coming to do a theatre run here in the UK.
Well, absolutely. I did a show called 2026, which is a sort of spin-off of 2012 and W1A, which is coming up next year. And we had 2 or 3 friends from overseas come and join us, and they absolutely love coming to London and working in London. I met John Lithgow this summer when he was doing Giant, and he adores London.
Of course he
was at Lambda actually back in the day, the drama school. But no, it's made me feel very proud that so many people from America love coming to work here.
No, it is, and
taking our jobs.
We forget sometimes. We forget, and we always need to be reminded. It's really important. When in central London, I used to live right by Hyde Park. And obviously loads of tourists come and they go to Hyde Park. And then millions of Londoners live around Hyde Park and never go to Hyde Park. Then you take the millions of Londoners, you get them to New York, they go to Central Park. Guess what? The New Yorkers don't go to Central Park. We don't do what's in front of us, do we? And when Americans come over, big, fancy, highfalutin American big shot actors, they come here, they land in the rehearsal rooms for a West End play, and they remind everybody else how great it is to be in this, and that's really useful and helpful.
That's absolutely true. And talking about hidden, I mean, I lived near Hyde Park for most of my teens. And we were filming, I'm in a bit of a show called The Agency, and we were filming in a part of Hyde Park the other day that I'd never even seen in my 60 years.
Hold for applause, open the door. The Agency, everybody. What a show. What a show. I mean, seriously, what a show.
No, it's great.
It's like James Bond every week. This is what Amazon need to do with James Bond. Have you had any whispers or what? Oh, look at that face.
Well,
You know what's going on.
I wish I could tell you, Chris.
Oh, my gosh. You know
no, I don't know what's going on. Of course I don't.
I interview people for a living every day, and I saw that tick, and you know what's going on. You so do. You do. And you can get us tickets for Paddington the Musical.
I went to see that the other day. It's beautiful.
I'm sure it is. Was it packed? Because it's packed, sold out forever, isn't it?
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
Give us a flavour. What goes on?
Well, it follows the story, to be honest, of Paddington 1, the first movie.
How glad are you that I moved on from the Bond question?
That's good. I've got a horrible feeling in a circle back to it.
Yeah, quite right.
But it's absolutely enchanting. The songs are great. And when the bear is revealed, the feeling from the audience, the emotion, because we all care about that bear. And it's beautifully done, and it's a lovely suspension of disbelief in the right way. When you go to the theatre, you engage with the way that they're doing the bear, and it's just utterly enchanting.
The name is Bond. Michael Bond.
Exactly!
See?
Yeah.
See what I was doing there?
Whoa.
Playing with you this morning, Hugh. It's great. So, because I remember when Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the musical, happened, and everybody's like, oh, we're so up for this, we've signed up for it, we've sunk an investment, we've turned up, we've paid our money, yes, as long as the car's all right. And I'm sure it's the same with the bear.
Absolutely, and I was talking to Sonia Friedman, the producer, about it, and they spent literally years working on A, the show, and B, the concept of the bear. How are you going to make
get the bear
that?
right.
You've got to get the bear right,
and they get the bear right,
and they do. It's utterly wonderful.
Yeah, and what was it like for the people sitting behind you and in front of you? Because they were at the Paddington the Musical, sitting behind or in front of Mr. Brown. I mean, that's the seat you want, isn't it?
No, it was lovely because lots of people said, "Oh, is it emotional for you coming to watch this?" And
more so.
It was because it took me back to the where it all started for me with my relationship with the bear. But Paddington is so personal to so many millions of people, and to have everyone coming together in the theatre to celebrate that story and to engage with the gorgeousness of the Bear from Darkest Peru was really wonderful.
And the songs were good.
The songs are really lovely. Yeah, there's a couple of really quite catchy, sort of earworms.
Yeah.
But they're beautiful. And the performances are fantastic. Anyway, Shadowlands.
Well, it's all theatre, isn't it? It's all theatre.
It's all theatre.
It's all love for the theatre.
And I cannot emphasise enough when we see that cinemas are struggling. They're 40% down. But it's great to see theatre doing, pretty well.
The beginning to solving the problem is surrendering to the fact there is a problem, and you've got to go for it, haven't you? Yeah. And you're how many performances per week for Shadowlands? Are you 8? It's 8. Jeez, man. And I say it's same with Paddington. This is where I'm going with. It's these shows day in day out, and you've got to give it all the beans because everybody who's seeing that show is seeing that show for the first and maybe the only time ever. Yeah. They pay the same as everybody else, whether it's what days matinees? Is it Thursday or?
I think we're doing Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Wednesdays and Saturdays. In the afternoon, or it's a Friday night when maybe you're feeling more in the mood. As part of a troupe like the Paddington guys and you guys with Shadowlands, is there a night where naturally the rhythm of the week helps energise you more?
It's interesting. Every day is different, and as the great Judi Dench always says, the great thing about theatre is tomorrow you can get it right.
Hang on a second. Pause. Dame Judi Dench. Get in, Dame Judy.
And well, it's true. I mean, that is why I love theatre. Because you are joining in a sort of contract with the audience every night, and you've all been through the rain to get there, or the sunshine to get there to the stage, door, or to the front of house that day. So you are inevitably affecting each other, and it's up to you as the entertainer, the performer, to give it your best shot. I'm not pretending that every day is exactly 100%, but you try to be 100%, and you try and lift the audience out of whatever they've been going through that day.
If someone's in the audience, right, mate, fellow, thesp, whether you know them or you don't, do you up your game a bit? Is that an actual thing?
No, it just makes you more terrified, I think.
Which in a way would also, because terrified is just excitement having a different moment, isn't it?
It is, but I mean, of course, once you're in the story of the play, you forget all that and you just get it on with it. But it's funny, you can be in a packed house of 1,200 people, and there's one, Auntie May's friend is
Auntie May. Auntie May, Auntie May in February. So theatre play Shadowlands begins at the Old Witch Theatre, London, on Thursday, 5th of Feb, and runs until the 9th of May. How long was you run the first time you did it?
We did it only for 4 weeks down in Chichester, and this is a fresh production.
Oh, right, there you go.
Yeah,
so this
8 years ago. So it's I'm really looking forward to revisiting it.
All right, tickets available now via shadowlandsplay.com. All right, Jamie Lee Curtis on Between 9 and 10. You said you've got a Jamie Lee Curtis story.
Well, I'm just very gutted that I won't be here long enough
to
curtsy to her, because I was lucky enough to be nominated for a Golden Globe once upon a time.
Applause. Good round of applause. Here we go. Hold for applause.
Yes. Yes, I hasten to add, nominated, always the bridesmaid, and I arrived at the hotel in wherever we were, Los Angeles, I guess, or New York, I can't remember where it was, and in my hotel room was a little envelope, and inside was a tiny little gold marble and a note from Jamie Lee Curtis saying, "If you don't win the big Golden Globe, here's a small one to take home." Which was so kind.
Nice is
and I'd never met her before, and she was just a fan of Downton Abbey, and that was a very kind gesture.
Do you know what? I hear she does that kind of thing a lot, and she's always been.
I thought I was special, Chris.
Well, no, I didn't mean like that. Well, it makes her special, I suppose. Yeah. It does make you special because she's been clean and sober since 1999. She talks about that a lot. She says, "Say what you mean what you say, but don't say it mean." That's her thing.
That's very good.
And she's one of these kind of people who will always, if she recognises a sort of kindred spirit, she'll write a note. She'll send you a little gold thing. She'll give you her phone number. And when she says call me, she means, if you need me, give me a call. And does all this other stuff in between. And it's at the peak of her powers. This new film she's in is off the chain.
Is it? I keep hearing about it.
Oh, it's so good. Ellen McKay. Now, for people who don't know, do you want to explain who James L. Brooks is?
Well, he's a great comedy producer,
legend, director,
director.
Gracie Films, The Simpsons, As Good as It Gets, Broadcast News. In charge of all those amazing films. Multiple Oscar winner, 62-time Emmy nominee.
Good Lord.
62 times. And you watch this film, you think, this is how they used to make films. I don't mean to sound crusty, rusty and dusty, but this is how they used to make films, and it still feels like now. How have they done this? And then you see James L. Brooks has come out of retirement at the age of 85 to write it and direct it.
My God.
I mean, chills, man. It's so good.
Oh, I can't wait.
Talking of movies, there are spin-offs and there are spin-ups. This is a phrase we invented before, because the Downton movie franchise wasn't a spin-off, it was a spin-up.
Oh, good.
Wasn't
I
it?
like that. I like that.
And you saw the third. You said hello, goodbye to the third one this year.
Yeah.
So it's been a good year. Was that the highlight of the year work-wise? Or?
It was. I mean, I think, as I say, for me, the talking to children about stories has been lovely.
Yeah.
But I think, Downton was a lovely, lovely farewell, and it went down well. And again, we've had so many messages over the years about what the show has meant to people, and I think, and we had such overwhelming. Sort of pouring of love, saying it was a really good farewell to this beloved show.
Yeah. Good for you,
it was
mate.
lovely.
And I know that obviously Downton travels. You've Golden Globe chat, and America knows who you are, and you're so British, and they love you for it. And you are now, how old are you if you don't mind me asking?
62.
62. Feeling good, yeah?
Yes.
Smashing.
Apart from my cold.
Apart from your cold, but loving life.
Yeah.
And look at the sparkling eye, loving life. So say like Netflix come along or Amazon come along with these mega deals, like, and they may have, I don't know. But we know that the contracts are all like 7 years minimum if it goes well. Would you ever sign up for one of those? Because that would take you now to like 69, 70. or do you go, no, I'm all right, thanks.
I think I'm all right, thanks. I did it once for a show that didn't really trouble the box office too much, or it didn't trouble the viewers for too long.
The remote control.
But I do have a photograph somewhere of me literally on my knees signing a 7-year contract on a coffee table at CBS, and I, even as I was signing it, I was thinking, what am I doing? I could be back home, tilling the vegetables.
Oh, that makes me feel sick on your behalf.
I know. And of course, it's a one-sided deal. It's up to the option is on the side of the producers. Now, obviously, with Downton, we had to do a 3-year deal. But
that's not made on the other side of the world, though, is it?
No, it's not, and that was made an hour from my home, so it was really convenient. But no, I think, we all need to work, and I understand why people do sign these things, and you always sign up hoping that it's going to be the one that's going to last. I was just incredibly fortunate that the one time I did sign an option contract, did work and lasted as long as it did.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't imagine at this age. Oh my God, you've really put me on the spot now. Would I sign a 7-year deal? I'd like to think not, but then we all need, pay the mortgage.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because there's, when you're 30 or 40, maybe 50, 60, 70, absolutely, it could be life changing. But it's more likely to be life changing earlier on.
Yes, of course.
And you are so happy. You can sense how happy you are, and you can't buy that.
No,
no,
that's
and
true.
if there's any chance of that being disrupted or being in jeopardy, then the answer is, I'm sorry, Hugh, as your advisor, it's got to be no. When Amazon come to you for the 6 1 hours a year of the new Bond franchise, because that's what we're going to do with it, it's going to have to be a no, I'm afraid.
Oh, and there was me on the cusp of saying yes. Damn.
Oh gosh. Is there anything we've forgotten to talk about?
I wanted to ask you about Laverstoke Farm. Now, I never, you kindly, or the team kindly invited me over the years, and I could never do it for various reasons, and that's come to an end. Is that right?
Well, it's moved to Silverstone.
Oh, I see.
So
that's
it's moved
why.
to Silverstone.
I see.
With the blessing of Claire Schechter,
right.
One of the founding mums of Carfest.
Yeah.
It's moved to Silverstone, and the tickets went on sale, and they were 100% up on last year.
Wow.
We're going to make it more car-y. Morkai than it is, not Morkai than anything else. But we'll still have all the invites for you guys to come and talk about books. And
Excellent.
so that would be lovely if you came. In fact, tickets go on sale tomorrow for Carfest again. We did the early bird stuff. So you're more than welcome. Claire in Cirencester says, I was about 18 when I saw Shadowlands at the cinema with my 3 girlfriends. We'd never sobbed so much. One of those standout films from my youth. Totally sold on seeing you at the theatre, darling. All right, this is good. So we're selling tickets here.
Good.
Shadowlandsplay.com. That's it. That's interesting. When people cry in the movies, it's fine because the actors can't be put off because it's on celluloid. What happens when people start crying at the theatre?
It's a very interesting thing. There's a little trigger point in the play, or a marker point in the play, where I knew if the audience laughed at that moment, then they would be utterly silent and spellbound at another, or emotionally moved at a final moment. And it's so weird. It's to do with the structure of the play, because it's a very emotional journey.
Of course it is.
And as I say, you go from the highs of this couple finding each other to the pain of the loss, and finally this very repressed academic lets the emotion out, and it's a very powerful piece of theatre, and when we get it right, and it's interesting. There were a couple of times when perhaps we slightly didn't get that point right, that marker point,
the rhythm,
and it was not quite as effective. But yeah, I think when you're in a cinema or in a theatre and you have a communal experience, there's nothing like it.
Nothing like it. No, you're right. Julianne says, so happy to hear you on the show. I've loved listening to all the Sherlock Holmes podcasts.
Oh, thank you.
Which drop every Thursday. She says in brackets there.
Very good, thank you.
So there'll be another one out this week.
Yeah.
Love the show, Chris and the gang. Probably makes me smile. Thank you. Oh, she's big in both of us then. Bit of Sherlock, bit of us, bit of everything. Let's leave it there. Let's hear it for Hugh Bonneville, please.
Thank you.
Just say hello, Hugh. We love you.
Thank you
love you,
very much.
Hugh. Who do we love? We actually do.
Thank you very
Shadowlands
much.
begins the Aldwych Theatre London Thursday, 5th of Feb, and runs till 9th of May. Shadowlandsplay.com to go and see Hugh and his mates.